Hi friends, this is Nikhil Sanjay Rekha and we have met 2 times earlier on the same sessions. So it was basically about the basics of the budget. I hope you recall that, and if you haven't seen those videos, just do go and watch on the Insights website because they too are very important from the perspective of prelims also, from the perspective of mains also, because there I have talked more about the basics of the budget or how the budget goes. So today students, I have met you because there have been a lot of queries to me on Telegram channel or via Insights forum where they are asking about how to study the budget. The problem is that there is too much information bombardment where they are talking n number of things about the budget. But the thing is that what is basically required for the exam? I always say that be a Markwadi, because Markwadi means what? You want marks. Okay, MARKS, marks. So for that marks, you need to align your preparation in a very smart manner. And that smartness required you to decipher the budget or any topic which is there in the UPSC prelims or mains in the manner which is expected from the exam. So today I have taken this budget 2025-2026 so as to help you in your upcoming prelims. So when I'm recording this video, prelims is just 4 or 5 days away. So at least in the last manner, I can just finish off the budget and you can just listen to it in a fast forward manner, or you can listen to it at least as a last touch up. So I would be talking on this budget from the perspective of prelims only. Okay, and also I will touch upon some aspects which are important for the mains, but this video is basically being made for the students for prelims and help them in their preparations. So students, we are going to talk about budget 2025-2026. So I will not delve into what is budgetary estimates, what is revised estimates, what is actual estimates. That I have all done in our previous 2 lectures. So do go and watch that. So budget 2025-2026, very important from the perspective of prelims, very important from the perspective of mains. See, I'm talking about mains because you should have that positive attitude that I'm going to write the mains this year itself, and next year maybe you are waiting for your results and expecting that you would be getting IAS, IFS, IPS, whatever you want. So budget 2025-2026. So why this budget is important? Because this budget comes after, or it's a full-fledged budget. Okay, I'm not talking about interim budget and all. It's a full-fledged budget after the general elections, after the Lok Sabha elections. And as we will talk in the budget also, you can see some political ramifications of the budget, because you will see a lot of emphasis on Bihar and you will see a lot of emphasis on so-called Andhra, okay, or Andhra Pradesh. Okay, yes. So this could be seen in the allotment of the money to these 2 states. This could be seen in the cultural appeasement of the people also. So leave that all apart. Why I am talking this? Because these 2 states are going to be important. So from your perspective, focus a lot on Bihar. From your perspective, focus a lot on Andhra Pradesh, especially the Telugu part. Okay. So Bihar we will talk about. So for example, when the government is focusing on 2 major states, okay. So let's take an example of Bihar. So you need to see Bihar from a very vantage standpoint. That means what? Study whatever is there in the syllabus which resonates with Bihar. So go for Mauryan period, go for Ashoka, isn't it? Ajatshatu, Bimbisar, Bindusar, all these people. So Bihar has a rich legacy. Kumrahar, it could be an ancient India question they had asked. Patliputra. So Bihar you should focus. And now recently the Bodh Gaya protests were going on. So that becomes also very important because it's also World Heritage Site. So focus on Bihar. Similarly, they have focused a lot on Andhra Pradesh and especially the Telugu language. And today, in these times where the southern part of the India is protesting against the imposition of Hindi, because language is not just a construct, language is a cultural construct, because with language comes gender, religion, caste, class, and an entire gamut of things. So Telugu assumes a very importance. So students, when we see in this budget, they have quoted Gurjara Apparao. So Gurjara Apparao, they have quoted the Telugu quote of his, where they say that a country is not in its soil, or the idea of country is embodied in its people. This is nothing but the same definition which Rabindranath Tagore also talked about. The idea of nation is within the people. This is what your Bhakti movement has also talked about. Where is the humanity? Where is the idea of love? It's within you. Where is God? It's within you. So they have quoted Gurjara Appa Rao, and he's a Telugu poet. So it again assumes importance because whatever is associated with Telugu, because in medieval India there is a lot of Telugu works also. So Krishna Deva Raya, Vijayanagar. There is a recent book which has come on Vijayanagar. So Krishna Deva Raya writes Amukta Malyada in Telugu only. And if you read Sunil Khilnani's book Incarnations, so they have quoted Krishna Deva Raya that he says that my heart still lies with the Telugu language. So Telugu assumes importance. So whatever you get regarding Telangana, whatever you get regarding Andhra Pradesh, whatever you get regarding Telugu language or the classic works of the Telugu language, you can expect a question in ancient or either medieval or also modern India. So just think about that. See, that is what the approach to budget is all about. Budget is not about figures and facts. Budget has lot of elements which are hidden inside, and we need to decipher that like an archaeologist. So what we are trying to unearth or what we are trying to do here is the archaeology of the budget. Are you getting this? So this is the Gurjara Appa Rao statement. We will see that. I have a small document of Government of India. We are going to refer that. Clear? Then, now the budget basically is focusing on very few major aspects. So they are focusing on first is agriculture. They are focusing on exports. They are focusing on MSMEs, isn't it? So what I am borrowing, or you will tell wow, from where the sir is borrowing. I am not borrowing from anywhere. I am just borrowing from here. Yeah. So agriculture, MSME, exports, and investment. So these are the four key pillars of this budget. Okay. So agriculture, MSME, investments, and exports. Just keep in mind. Okay. And if you are reading India book, or if you are reading some schemes, try to focus on these schemes. So what schemes government has brought on agriculture recent in 1 year? What are the steps which the government has taken to emphasize on agriculture? What are the steps government is taking to promote M, S, M and E? It assumes very importance. I will tell you why. Then investments and again exports. And students, the budget is standing on also three pillars. First, the budget is focusing on reforms. Second, the budget is going to talk about inclusive growth and inclusive development, which is a UPSC Prelims question and it is also a UPSC Mains question also. And third, the budget is talking about Viksit Bharat 2047. So students, I would urge you to go and read Nirmala Sitharaman's speech. And that speech I have uploaded on our Telegram channel also. So you can see that Telegram channel. I will give the name also. If you are not taken down, it's okay. So in the budget speech also, Nirmala Sitharaman or our Honorable Finance Minister, she has talked about the paradigms of Viksit Bharat. So don't just say, when I talk with the students, sir, Viksit Bharat, Viksit Bharat, Viksit Bharat. But what is Viksit Bharat? You need to tell me, na. Viksit Bharat is, sir, 100% access to education or 100% coverage of health, 100% or increasing GDP growth. So you need to define what is Viksit Bharat, or in fact, they can ask in prelims, which among the following qualifies to be the tenets of Viksit Bharat. So they can ask like that also. Are you getting this? Just remember that. So just don't tell the words or just don't speak about these all big terms. You need to know what is Viksit Bharat. So go home and see what is Viksit Bharat and just Google and see what is Viksit Bharat. In fact, go in the official documents. I always say that. People say, what I ask them, what is the source of reference? They say Google. So Google is not source of reference. Sisters and brothers, Google is only a search machine. You have to look into authenticate documents or authentic documents. So for Viksit Bharat, the best document, or if you want to understand, it's all government documents. And Honorable Finance Minister has talked about the Viksit Bharat. She has listed that. She had spoken in the Parliament of India, which you can get on our channel also. So agriculture, MSME, investment and exports. So reforms, inclusivity, Viksit Bharat. Three things are there. And then the budget is talking about aspiration of Viksit Bharat. So what is the aspiration of Viksit Bharat? So they are talking about aspirations. So first students, as Shah Rukh Khan always says that you can't be a philosopher when you're a pauper. So for a nation to tell philosophy, for a nation to talk about big things, or for a nation to talk about the philosophy of Viksit Bharat, it needs to have a proper GDP. So in terms of our economics, it needs to have what? A growth, a good growth rate. And this becomes important in today's times, because if you have read economic survey, in the economic survey you can see that the entire world is growing at a very slow, hazy rate. People are saying that the world is tending towards recession also, and in that recession India is deemed to be, or India is seen to be, a bright spot. This is not what I am telling, this is what the documents are telling. Whether it's truth or not, it's a different question, but India is a bright spot. This is what the economic survey says, this is what the budget says. So first they are talking about what? Growth. Second, students, in the aspiration they are talking about what? Inclusive development. So as Edward Abbey says, growth for the sake of growth is an ideology of a cancer cell. So you shouldn't just grow, but you should compound, or you should complement it with what? Development. And growth is always quantitative, development is qualitative. And we have the model of development starting with 1989, Amartya Sen and a Pakistani economist, Mehboob-ul Haq, who had started what? Human development, and H, D and I. And where Amartya Sen talks about the capability and capacity approach, and he talks about the idea of development being what? Freedom. Development as freedom, or a gendered idea of what? Development. That is what? Inclusive growth. Then they are talking about what? Raising savings, which is nothing but what? Raising investment of middle classes. So students, now it's not a time, I can't explain you everything, but in our classes when I teach you circular flow of income, I teach you in two parts. One is a normal circular flow of income, and second I talked about how the savings in an economy impact the investments in an economy. Are you getting this? And it was also a 2020 mains question also, the savings rate. And recently students, if you have read the current affairs, our ex-governor Shaktikanta Das had, when he was the governor of RBI, so we had talked about a dipping savings rate, which was very bad for the Indian economy, or it was very alarming for the Indian economy. Why? Because if savings are not there, so people save in the banks, and money is not in their banks, so how the banks will give loans? Or if people don't have money in their hands, how the people will invest in the stock markets or in the IPOs? Are you getting this? So savings rate or dipping savings rate is very bad for the economy. If the savings rate dip, so it's also the dipping of investments also. So if you just go and see this part of the budget, so growth, inclusive development, and is what? Spending power of the middle income classes, because it's the middle class which is the backbone of the country. And if the middle class doesn't have the spending power, if the middle class can't save the money, then it's a huge problem, because if savings are not there, there would not be investments. So they're talking about what? Increasing the spending of middle classes. Then they're talking about what? Private sector investment, which I was talking about. So here, private sector investment, and last they talk about sentiments. Okay, so raising, I'm just writing don't write in UPC like this, raising the sentiments of household sector. So this I say that in my lecture I told my student, this is nothing but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Panchajanya. Panchajanya is like the conch of Vishnu, Panchajanya. Okay, that sound, Vishnu's conch, Panchajanya. So these are the Panchajanya of our budget. So first is what? Growth compounded with inclusive development. Then what? Raising savings or investments by the private sector or the middle class. Third, private sector investments. Sorry, fourth is private sector investment, and fifth is what? Raising the sentiments of what? Household sector. So this you know, this you know, this you know. Private sector investment. Why it's important, students? Because now we are in a period of post LPG. So government has gone from a regulator to being a facilitator. We are in the neo or in the post capitalist period. Understand this. I always tell this in the class. I explained you in this class. What is the meaning of neoliberal? What is the meaning of neoliberal? What is the period of late capitalism or post capitalism? So private sector investment. So it's not the government which is also or always going to invest. It's also the role of private sector. And when I teach you PPP, I had talked about this a lot. Public-private partnership, and what is the historic role of private sector. And in the entire budget we are going to see there is a lot of emphasis on the private sector. Lot of emphasis on private sector. Are you getting this? and then at increasing the or raising the sentiments of household sector. Now students, you know household sector, and if you know, in our lectures we have done, household sector is what we talked about. Mukesh Ambani and Nita Ambani, isn't it? When Mukesh goes to Reliance, he belongs to private sector, but ultimately Mukesh at night returns to where? To Nita only. Nita stays where? Household sector. So whether you are a government sector, you are a public sector, government and public are same, whether you are a private sector, whether you are a external sector, technically you all belong to what? Household sector. So household sector consists of super rich, billionaire, trillionaire, middle class, upper middle class, lower middle class, poor. Everybody belongs to what? Household sector. And it is the task of economy, it's a task of an enterprise to cater to the needs of what? Household sector. So if the sentiments of the household sector are dampened, if they feel that economy is not doing good, so they will not go for savings, they will not go for investments, they will not put their money in the banks. So for example, when the sentiments on banks was very bad, because when that Nirav Modi, Mehul Choksi and all these people ran away, I myself saw in Punjab National Bank, people were abusing the managers, and the bichara, the managers didn't have any clue. They said, people are abusing like they are the persons who let Nirav Modi and Mehul Choksi run away. Are you getting this? Peoples, and they are people, yeah. They are the people. As Gurujara Apparao says, the nation is embodied in the people, or the people is a nation, or people are the nation. Are you getting this? They become ants, and ultimately they take out on the institutions, they take out on the other people. Are you getting this? So household sentiments matter. If the sentiments are good, it's awesome. You can see that if sentiments are good in the terms of, let's say, your festivals, people spend like anything. If they are happy, they spend like anything. Are you getting this? So the sentiments of the people should be micromanaged, and how they should be managed, it's not conducting more festivals. Are you getting it? It's giving them a reassurance, it's giving them a stable economy, it's telling them that our economy is doing awesome, it is doing fine. Okay, and it's not just a mouth service, it should be seen also. Okay, if I'm putting my money in the bank, I should get a proper rate of interest. When I go to buy vegetables, I should get the vegetables at a cheaper price. That is how the sentiments of the household sectors don't understand this. Whatever we do, na, inflation, this, that, they don't understand. They are reacting to the economy at a very micro level. So tomatoes, if yesterday it was 5 rupees, it becomes 10 rupees, they react. Brinjals, if they are 10 rupees, they become 20 rupees, they react. Are you getting this? So the sentiments of the household sector should be kept at a very active level. Okay, and that is the task of this budget. This is how the budget is also going to give a fillip to them. Clear? So I think we just discussed this: growth, inclusive development, raising savings, investment of the middle class, private sector investments, and increasing sentiments of household sector. Hope you got it, students. Okay, just note it down. Okay, just when you're watching the lectures, I always tell students, don't just sit and see. Okay, it's not a movie going on. Yeah, okay, you may feel that I am Shah Rukh Khan. Okay, so but I always want to take down the notes. Take down the notes, and if you're just walking, or sometimes just listen at 2x speed. Okay, and anyhow, I am talking at 2x speed because we have to do it fast. So this is Gurujara Apparao I talked about. Now students, first we are now, this is nothing but Garib, Youth, Annadatta and Nari. So if you just go to the Honorable Prime Minister's statement, he talked about 4 castes in India. Okay, it's a paradoxical example. Okay, but still he talked that India has 4 castes. There is one known as Garib, there is one Yuva, then there is one Annadatta, and there is one Garib, Yuva, Annadatta, and there is one more. Anybody you can guess? Mahilaye. Okay. So Garib means what? Poor. Yuva means what? Youth. Annadatta means what? A farmer, the backbone of our country. And then there is what? Mahilaye. Very important. Okay. And they have become also very important now in the realm of what? Electoral politics also, after the representation given to them. So Mahila is what? Women. Okay, so these are the 4 castes as per the Honorable Prime Minister: Garib, Yuva, Annadatta, Mahila, poor, youth, farmer and women. So just let's go back. So just giving you. So Garib, technically it should be what? Yuva. Then there should be what? Annadatta. And there should be what? Nari. So they have mixed English and Hindi. So they wrote Garib, which is Hindi, Annadata, which is Hindi, Nari, which is Hindi, and Youth they have added in what? English. So either they should be in entire English, or either it should have been in what? Entire this Hindi. Okay. There are a lot of also mistakes in the budget also, in the printing and all, which is not a good sign. Okay. It's an official thing. So first we are focusing on what? Agricultural growth and building rural prosperity. See students, at least for more 50 years, we are going to talk primarily only about agriculture, and as per the statistics, around 43% of the people are still engaged in agriculture, and they contribute around 16 to 17% of the GDP. And every year the figure goes up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Are you getting this? But this shows that not all is well with the agriculture. The productivity of the agriculture is also less, and it points to a very important problem of disguised unemployment. So government is trying to rectify this by promoting a lot of food processing organizations, by promoting a lot of what we say, food processing parks, industrial parks, which are related to what? Agriculture. So first students, they are talking about what? National mission on high yielding varieties of seeds. So high yielding varieties of seeds, but that seeds would be what? Enhancing productivity. That seeds would be what? Pest resistant. That seeds would be what? Climate resilient, because of the climate change. See, when you're writing any answer in today's time, students, remember that climate change has to be your denominator. Are you getting it? That climate change consciousness should be there in your thing. Because if you listen to state, let's say our honorable prime minister, he has always in his speech something regarding climate. That means it shows that India is very conscious, or India is giving a lot of priority to the climate change. Okay, that is nothing but national mission. So it's a national mission on high yielding varieties of seeds. Second, they are talking about what? Enhancing credit through Kisan credit card. So Kisan credit card I have done in the classes. So your task is to go and read KCC, or what are the changes. Now they have extended beyond farmers, okay, to fisher persons and other allied activities also, or other allied sectors also. So go and read when the Kisan credit card came and what is the limit now, and they have extended the services to whom and whom. Dairy farmers, they have listened. So this is something new. This is a new scheme, Pradhan Mantri Dhan Dhanya Krishi Yojana. Pradhan Mantri Dhan Dhanya Krishi Yojana. So the perspective of this scheme is what? To develop agri districts. So it would be what? A district focus approach, and they have selected, or they are going to select some 100 districts. Pradhan Mantri Dhan Dhanya Krishi Yojana. So in that 100 districts, they are going to focus on improving productivity, not only land but labor also, but also giving a so-called pathway for food processing industries also. So that is there. And last second is what? Mission for cotton productivity. So enhancing the productivity of cotton. Are you getting this? So your task is what? To go and read your NCERTs and see what is the type of soil required for cotton, where cotton is predominantly grown in India. So what is Deccan? So Deccan region is very famous for the cotton. Go and see the map. Are you getting this? See the India's exports of the cotton. See the India's imports of the cotton, because cotton is a very important ingredient in what? Textile sector. So go and see cotton, and just because in UPSC 2020 prelims also they asked a question on cotton also. Okay, so it becomes very important. And then I told you Makhana board in Bihar. Okay, Makhana board in Bihar. So it's nothing but what? A food processing organization or farmer producer organization. Okay, so they are going to set up a board in Bihar. So I told you there is going to be appeasement. See, budget is not just economics, it's also political also. Okay, so Bihar has got a lot of things thanks to Nitish Babu. So he had brought, he had used the electoral figures to his more advantage. Clear? So Makhana board in Bihar, Makhana. Okay, so just a fun recommendation, go home and see, or you're already at home. I'm recording the lecture, it's not the class, but do see the process of making of makhana. You will never eat makhana in your life. Okay, so there is a makhana board in Bihar. Then students, the government is talking about Atmanirbharta, or self-sufficiency in pulses. So they have delineated or shortlisted 3 pulses. So there is Tur, there is Urad, and there is Masoor. Okay, Tur, Urad and Masoor. And it's a 6-year program. Again, what they are going to do? So hand holding the farmers, giving them price assurance, again trying to develop the climate resilient varieties, increasing the productivity and reducing the post harvest losses. This is going to be very common, but remember that. And for you, one exercise is that go home and see which of the pulses get MSP, or see the idea of MSP. MSP is given to which type of crops? Because at least every 2-3 years the question on MSP is repeated. Who sets the MSP and all? Okay, and how the prices of pulses are also set in the market. Clear? Atmanirbharta in pulses. Then they're talking about Indian Post as a catalyst for the economy. So the budget talks about leveraging the network of post in the entire country. Okay, making them as the engines of growth. So post, so DBT, EMI, isn't it? Credit card services, digital services. Okay, making them as what? Hub of rural community or connectivity. So they are focusing on Indian Post. So go home and check Indian Post Savings Bank or IP, and other is what? IPPB, because they are trying to get into what? Universal banking also. So see the difference between Post Office Savings Bank. Try to go and see the difference between Indian Post Payment Bank and then how they can become as a universal bank. That is what it's important. And postal, when did the post come in India? Isn't it? You also have Indian Postal Services also. So that becomes very important. So leveraging the Indian postal system. If you know, if you've seen the movie known as Swades, I talked in the class also. So you can see the post office is a multivariate center. There the person is playing Kusti also. That is a different part. But when Shah Rukh Khan wants to connect on internet, he goes to the post office. When Shah Rukh Khan wants to connect on an international call, he goes to the post office. When Shah Rukh Khan wants to receive a courier, he goes to the post office. When Shah Rukh Khan wants to send a letter, he goes to the post office. Are you getting this? Also, the post office or the post office person knows each and every person of the village. When he is going to canvass for the schools so that children should come to the school, he first goes to the post office. This shows how a post person, I'm talking about post person, not a postman, how a post person knows each and every person of the village because of the affinity. And that is what government is going to focus on. Indian Post as a catalyst for rural economy, because the post person knows each and every person of the village. She or he is engaged in their sorrows, in their happiness, etc., etc., etc. So post office, classic example. So government, maybe our finance minister must have watched Swades. She must have got the idea. Yeah, great. So our agriculture happened. Now it's what? MSME. So students, this is very important because an expected question is what? The revision in the classification criteria for MSME. Revision in the classification criteria for MSME. Student, this is important. Micro, small and medium enterprises. See student, this was a interview question. Are you getting this? So micro, revised is what? 2.5 crores. So investment, so whenever I say micro, small and medium enterprises, you will ask me, or I will ask you, tell me what is micro? What do you mean by micro? So you will tell me, sir, micro means nothing but where the investment is up to 2.5 crores and the turnover is what? 10 crores. Investment is what? Up to 2.5 crores and turnover is what? 10 crores. So don't go for what we say current wala. Go for revised. Investment is what? 2.5. Revised is what? 10 crore. Similarly, when I ask you, tell me, what is small enterprise? You will tell, sir, where the investment is what? 25 CR. And when the turnover is what? 100 CR. And when I say, okay, so you told me micro, you told me small, what about medium enterprises? You will tell, sir, don't worry, telling na. So medium enterprises is nothing but what? When the revised investment is what? Or when the investment is what? 125 CR and turnover is what? 500 CR. So 2.5. So for micro, 2.5 crore investment and 10 crore turnover. For small, 25 crore investment and 100 crore turnover. For medium, 125 crore investment and 500 crore turnover. This is important. It could be expected. Clear? MSME. Micro. What is micro? What is small and what is medium enterprises? Clear? Yeah. Let's go here. Now they're talking about what? Credit card for micro enterprises. And very important is what? UDAM Portal. Try to see UDAM Portal. What are the multivariate applications of UDAM Portal? If you want to take a loan, you have to go to the UDAM Portal. Or UDAM Portal data is also as per 2015 change in GDP methodology. The data is used for what? New GDP calculation. Clear? UDAM Portal is important. Then they're talking about what? A scheme for first time entrepreneurs. So already we had a scheme like this, Startup India, Stand Up India. Go home and revise that scheme and see if they're going to bring a new scheme for first time entrepreneurs, and they're basically targeting women, scheduled caste and scheduled tribes. Check this out. So go home and revise Startup India, Stand Up India, and this is what? For the first time entrepreneurs. Okay. Then, and along with that, I just remembered, go and see also Mudra Yojana. They have updated the norms of Mudra Yojana. Okay, that Shishu, and Tarun, that see the things updated. And they are focusing on what? Manufacturing, same. So manufacturing focus is what? Quality products. Okay, then there is what? Increasing the productivity. Then they are talking about what? Making the MSME sector ready for what? Future job requirements. Okay, because AI is coming and taking up everything over, and reducing the cost of doing business, or improving what? Ease of doing business. Clear? This is what is there. And availability of technology and all we have talked about. Then students, our MSME sector is also going to focus on labor sectors or labor intensive sectors. So they are focused on leather and footwear. Very important, leather and footwear. Two things they are trying to focus on. Why? Because they give a lot of people jobs. Okay, they are job creators. Are you getting this? And second, they're talking about what? Toy sector. So I had told in the class also when I was discussing budget, for the toy sector, try to see which are the places where toys are famous. Example, Channapatna toys. Our honorable Prime Minister in his Mann Ki Baat also talked about Channapatna toys. Okay, see which toys have got GI tag and which toys has been so-called recognized by the government also. Okay, the government, in fact, one issue of Yojana, there was a beautiful article on the toy sector. Go home and see. Tanjavur dolls also is there. Are you getting this? Then third is what? Can you please wait? Third is what? Support for food processing. Okay, food processing sector. So I told you already that job making. Are you getting these jobs? Because there is a issue of what? Which issue? Disguised unemployment. So you have to take the people out and insert them somewhere in the food processing. Example, if you are a groundnut farmer, are you getting this? So if 10 people are engaged in the groundnut farming and which is not required, it's a task of 1 people, take the 9 people out, try to engage them in what? Agro processing industry or food processing industry. You can just convert that so-called groundnut into what? Salted peanut, roasted peanut, or different masala peanuts. Different types of peanuts are there. Na? Pudina peanut, neem peanut. Na? You can see that. You know all the brands, okay, what they come with. And you have your own favorites. So that is nothing but what? Food processing. Adding some so-called value and then selling that at a higher price. And also it involves marketing. It involves food processing. It involves quality checks. So it has a potential to create a lot of job sector. So go home and check also Pradhan Mantri Sampada Yojana. Okay, so Kisan Sampada Yojana also. Oh, because of my dash, it has gone. Then investing in people, economy, and innovation. See, innovation is very important because if you just go and look at the figures of China, 6% of their GDP is invested in R&D. What about us? So technically we talk about 2%, isn't it? And 2% also, you know that it's a government data. Are you getting it? The data could be less. Okay, but now the budget is very serious and they are explicitly talking about innovation. So innovation, so they are talked about different areas. So first they are talking about Saksham Anganwadi and Poshan 2.0. Very important, go home and revise Poshan 2.0 and Saksham Anganwadi schemes. Okay, Ministry of Women and Child Development. Clear? Then expansion in the IITs or capacity expansion in the IITs. It's not more about bringing more IITs, but they should also have quality. They should also have capacity to absorb, or else you will just make IITs as a normal colleges, isn't it? We have a lot of engineering colleges in India, but the problem is that seats are more, students are less. So don't make IITs or don't demean the IITs. Enhance the capacity and capability of the IITs. Then daycare centers in all district hospitals for cancer. So they are focusing a lot on cancer because there is a rise in non-communicable diseases also. Okay, then Bharatiya Bhasha Pustak scheme. So digitally making available the different types of books in different languages. Very important. So for example, I am from Maharashtra. I work in Karnataka, I work in Tamil Nadu, I work in Kerala, I come to Delhi. But there is a lot of, so being in Bangalore, there is an awesome Kannada literature. But if I want to read Kannada literature, recently I'm reading a book known as Ramayana. So the Ramayana has been translated in English also. The Ramayana has been translated in what? Marathi also, in my mother tongue. So when I read this, so I get to take in my hand the treasure of Karnataka or the treasures of Kannada literature. Are you getting this? And it's a Sahitya Academy winning novel. So it's more in the form of what? Integrating the nation. It's more in the form of what? Integrating the nation via culture, via literature. Are you getting this? Recently, I wrote an article on Raghavendra Patil's Teru, which is known as The Chariot. Why? Because the book is available in English. Are you getting this? By Sahitya Academy. So, Bharatiya Bhasha Pustak scheme. Awesome and very important scheme. More in the process of what? national integration and nation building. Then they're talking about what? Setting the centers of excellence for skilling. Yes, we require the centers of excellence because we are in the age of AI. We need to skill the people because after 5-10 years, the entire economy would be going through what? Structural changes. So for structural changes, we need to have very serious changes. This is in that. Then Atal Tinkering Labs, go home and read the scheme. It was asked in UPC once. Okay, I think around 2018 they asked Atal Tinkering Labs. Then Centers of Excellence in Artificial Intelligence. Yes, we need to have our own because China has got their own version of Chat GPT. Okay, then US has gone their own version of Chat GPT. And what does India have? You only answer your question. So we need to have our own thing. When we are trying to think about Viksit Bharat, we are trying to take China that we are the best or we are the so-called the pioneers of Indian subcontinent. We need to have something. We can't just beat the test and say that we are the best, we are the best. But data suggests something else. So we need to focus on building our own resources, building our own strength in AI. Then broadband connectivity to what? All government schools, especially what? Secondary schools. And again, they are talking about primary health centers, PHCs. Recently, a series has come on Amazon Prime. Do watch it. Or there is one more series known as Lakho Mein Ek on PHCs only. Then expansion of medical education, yes, but it needs to be quality medical education. Then PM Swanidhi Yojana, very important. Go home and read the scheme. PM Swanidhi Yojana and welfare of online workers. So try to go and see in the labor chapter of India Yearbook what is the meaning of gig workers. What is eShram portal? What is PM Jan Arogya Yojana? What is the Ayush scheme? What is Jan Arogya Yojana? What is the Jan Aushadhi centers? There is nothing but what? Online platform workers. This Swiggy, Zomato, Blinkit and all those people about them. Clear? So what I want you to go and focus on these some schemes. Very important. Very, very important schemes. Very important schemes. The schemes could be asked because in 2016 UPC gave an injection or a shock. They directly asked so many schemes. Either you know the schemes, either you don't know the scheme. If you know the scheme, you will attempt. If you don't know the scheme, gone. And this time you know that. UPC, I always tell the class, no pattern is the pattern, isn't it? So you can't guess, okay, this will come, this will not come. You have to be very ready. So we can't take chances. So at least the schemes which have been explicitly mentioned in the budget, you will go home and study. Okay, and study from authentic sources only because government directly borrows from that. Authentic sources are two. First is the government website. Second is what? India Yearbook. Or third, if you are reading Yojana or Kurukshetra, that. Bas, nothing else. No this class note, that class note. Because sometimes if the question comes from that and they have not given, you can't go and swim the class. We are not in US, understand? Then, again focus on infrastructure. So, the union is going to give support to the states for infrastructure. This is very important. So, they are going to give what? 50-year interest-free loans. That is important. One. So, second is what? Jal Jeevan Mission. Again, go home and immediately revise Jal Jeevan Mission because 100% coverage till what? 2028. Are you getting it? Then, in the 11th 5-year plan, students, if you just recall, we were thinking about what? Extending pure drinking water till 2000. Okay. But now it has been extended. Okay. Jal Jeevan Mission. Then there are power sector reforms. So go home and see what are the power sector reforms. What is Electricity Act? Why there is a need for amendment 1. Second, there are different schemes were there for the power sector reforms. Go home and see the schemes. Clear? Then here they are talking about what? Additional borrowing. They are going to give a leverage to the states. They can borrow something more, around 0.5% of state GDP, which is known as GSDP. Are you getting this? Clear? So T&D losses, okay, transfer and distribution losses. That is important. Clear? Yeah, we are already going from, so earlier it was DC, now it's AC. Are you getting this? Yes. And asset monetization plan. So if you go and see National Monetization Pipeline, NMP, they have extended it. So go home and see the scheme. Earlier it was from 2021 to 2025. It has worked like wonders. So now what they have done is what? They extended for 5 years more. So from 2025 to 2030. And then they have talked about Urban Challenge Fund. So there are different fancy names. But what you have to do is go and study Smart City Mission 1. Second, Amrut Scheme. Third, Hridaya Yojana. Hriday. That is there. Urban Challenge Fund. So they are giving a fund. Urban Challenge Fund. Then focusing on maritime program, where 49% funding is going to be given by government. So it shows that government is also very sincere. 49% is ready to sponsor, and 51% will come from the private sector because they want the management to be handled by the private sector, because with private sector comes efficiency, efficacy, accountability, and so-called transparency. And private sector always works for profit. So anywhere you want to have a profit, bring the private sector. That's it. Then nuclear energy for Viksit Bharat. So they are trying to liberalize the nuclear program. So they are going to bring amendments in two acts, Atomic Energy Act, and there is an act known as CLNDA, Civil Liability for Nuclear Damage Act, CLENDA. Okay, so let's see when they will bring, we will check it. Okay, now they have just told that it's our intention. See, budget is also putting forth the intention also. And then they're talking about UDAN. UDAN was last year's mains question. And again, UDAN was prelims question. They had asked about Holongai Airport in the Arunachal Pradesh. Okay, so UDAN, Ude Desh ka Aam Nagrik. So just go home and again revise UDAN. High probability they can ask UDAN again. What they could ask, either the UDAN scheme, or second they could ask which are the new airports which have been brought in this academic year or this year in UDAN. So they can ask you the names also. And you can't say, sir, I don't know about Arunachal. Arunachal is a part of India, na? It's your biases, you are northern biased or you are southern biased. You need to know what is happening in Arunachal. You should know what is happening in Manipur, irrespective of whether Hindu gives an editorial or not. It's your duty because you are going for all India services. You are not going to be posted only in your home state. You could be posted in the Manipur, Meghalaya, Mizoram, Tripura, anywhere. Arunachal, Assam. Are you getting this? Nagaland. Okay. Then Bihar again comes, Nitish Babu. Future needs of Bihar. So greenfield airports are going to come, and again they are talked about very important Western Koshi Canal. So go home and check River Koshi, its tributaries, its distributaries, or all related to what? River Koshi. Koshi is known as the sorrow of Bihar. Changing. So geographically also look at it, economically also look at it. Okay, and historically also look at it. Because same question was asked because of the Tista River in 2016 prelims. They asked about the tributaries of Tista. So they can go for what? Kosi also. And there is very important Swami Fund. So Swami Fund 1 was conceived in 2019. This is number 2. That means what? The projects, let's say house building projects, which have been stalled because of the lack of capital, they are going to invest more money and build the houses for what? Middle income, low income groups. Are you getting this? See, a project working is more better than what? A project stuck. So at least we have to give a push. Those brownfield projects or starting some greenfield projects. So government has to push some money because government is our welfare state. Are you getting this? They have to go for the welfare of the people. Clear? Then again, the budget is focusing on tourism. Your task is what? Go home and see all the schemes on tourism. I talk all these circuits, Ramayana circuit, Buddhist circuit, and so on. Okay, they are trying to bring the services into tourism because India has a huge potential. Wherever you go, Kerala, God's own country, Karnataka, awesome temples, awesome atmosphere, Tamil Nadu, awesome everywhere. Northern part of India. Are you getting this? Bihar, Sasaram Tom, Sher Shah Suri, Buddha circuit is there, Bodh Gaya is there. And again, they talked here is what? Mudra. Mudra for homestay. Mudra loan. So I already told you initially only. Go home and check Mudra or the limits of Mudra. Clear? Then again same. So government is focusing. I told you government is this time very serious about investments in the people and also innovation. 1 second, I will just have water and come. Okay. Jal Jeevan Mission. Jal Shakti. PM Research Fellowship. Okay. 10,000 fellowships for technological research. IITs and IISc. IISc is in what? Bengaluru. Then research development and innovation. So for private sector driven. So they're also giving a boost by putting money in the private sector driven research. Then very important, this is very important, gene bank for crops germplasm. So go home and see what is gene editing or what is genome, gene, CRISPR-9 and so on. Are you getting this? So government is going to focus on biotech here. Then Gyan Bharatam mission, very important. All these are ancient manuscripts. They are going to preserve and bring it in a digital form. Clear? Because let's say I talked about Amukta Malyada. So if there is an original copy of Amukta Malyada, we can access it. That time it was printed. You're getting it? There are some, let's say, writings which have been found on, let's say, leaves or bhandaras, giant literature, huge literature, repertoire. So they were written on, let's say, for example, some metals, some steel. So there is a beautiful novel in Kannada which is known as Om Namo by Shantinath Desai. In that there is also mention of that. There are a lot of bhandaras, there are a lot of ancient manuscripts which are there. So it needs to be digitalized because we know that we are all nonsense people. We don't save it properly. We don't have a culture of saving properly. Okay, so all these our ancient rishis, maharishis, all they have worked so hard, their intellectual things, we are all again bringing those back. Okay, at least we will get digitally so that we can at least give that our punji to what other generations. At least they will know, because Gen Z and some other Z or some generation now, I'm not updated with these words. They should know where we came from. Understand? That is what we are doing. Awesome project, awesome. Because every nation's strength lies in its culture. Okay, then National Geospatial Mission. So use of advanced technology, maps, and they have mentioned about PM Gati Shakti. Go home and revise PM Gati Shakti. Are you getting this? And also try to see that where we are using geospatial technology. Clear? So PM Gati Shakti found a mention. Very important scheme, they could ask you. Then again, promoting exports. So exports via MSME, micro, small and medium enterprises. Now you are very smart, you know what is micro, medium, small enterprise. Clear? This is something different. Bharat Trade Net. Bharat Trade Net. A digital public infrastructure. So public infrastructure, digital. Just like you have roads which is public, this is digital public infrastructure. Just like you have UPI, just like you have Beam. Are you getting this? Just like you have access to websites of government, they are all public infrastructure. They are all digital public infrastructure. Bharat Trade Net for what? International trade. Okay, so will be set up as a unified platform for trade documentation and financing solutions. And they are trying to integrate with what? Global supply chains. That means what? You are an entrepreneur. You can pay money via this digital public infrastructure to a person or to an enterprise in America or to the Bank of America. So we are trying to integrate them. See how it's going to happen. They are not yet specified, but we are going to integrate them. Global supply chain. So imagine a chain. Okay, starting from its logical initiation to the logical destination. That is nothing but global supply chains. Clear? Then national framework for what? Global capability centers. So these global capability centers, they are trying to develop in tier 2 cities. Tier 1 is what? All big cities. Gurgaon is there. Okay, Bangalore is there. Hyderabad is there. Tier 2 is what? Warangal is there. Are you getting this? Warangal. There is an article in the Hindu on Warangal, tier 2 city. How the cities have a potential to rise or could become a, what we say, a parallel hub to the tier 1 cities like Hyderabad. Okay, global capability, enhancing capability. Then warehouse facility for what? Air cargo. Air cargo. See, now it's not just water. Now it's not just land, but there is a international travels or international air travel, international freight. We should have the proper storage facilities. So if we have proper storage, then we can take care of proper logistic policy. If the goods are perishable goods, they will perish if they are not stored properly. We don't have proper cold storage mechanisms. We don't have proper storage mechanisms. But here they are focusing on what? Upgrading the facilities for what? Air cargo preservation, air cargo storage, warehouse. Okay, then now very important, financial sector reforms and development. So first they're talking about what? Gramin credit score. Okay, serve the credit needs of SHG members and people in rural areas. How much banking or how much self-help groups have been able to cater to the needs of village population? This is important because as Gandhi says, India lies in its villages. If our villages are poor, we can't become a Viksit Bharat or we can't become a Mahasatta. Whatever we say or whatever loud claims we make or we beat our chest 10 times, it will not happen. This will show that data is the new oil. Gramin credit score will show really if financial inclusion is happening in the rural areas or not. Because as Ambedkar also says that villages are the dens of ignorance. Are you getting this? So if you want to go from Ambedkar to Gandhi, from dens of ignorance to the republic or to Ramarajya, inclusion, prosperity, okay, not pauperization. Then NAPFID, National Bank for Financing Infrastructure Development. Go home and check NAPFID. I have taught you in the lectures. Are you getting it? It has came via the Act of Parliament, financing infrastructure. So they are going to float corporate bonds to supply a partial credit requirements to the infrastructure projects. NABFID, NABFID. Go and check in our notes also and check this. It's an all India financial institution brought via the Act of Parliament. Then KYC registry, revamp KYC, your name, home, address, Aadhaar card, PAN card, new number, new address. It should be revamped. The proper details should be there. Every year when you go to the bank, they ask for your KYC. Again submit your Aadhaar card, again submit your PAN card. It's nothing but this. Clear? Then for company mergers, there should be rationalization and speed. Your task is what? UPSC had asked a prelims question. Go home and see the PYQs. If two companies want to merge, what is the process? What is the process? Plus, what are the ministries involved? That is important. So they are trying to make it speedy. And what FDI limit on insurance? They are going to raise from 74% to 100%. What we know now, as per our current affairs, is what? There is a 100% FDI in insurance intermediaries. But now they are talking about insurance. FDI 100%. FDI, you know that, brings technology transfer, brings advanced technology, brings stable capital. And we are done in the class. The difference between FDI, FPI, FIIs, are you getting this? This is very important. Okay, and UPSC had asked a question on FDI also. What you would prefer, FDI or FPI? I think 2021 prelims they had asked. Okay, then they are gone for tax reforms. They are going to bring a new tax bill, okay, or new income tax bill, because even today in 2025 I am talking. Okay, our income tax is guided by Income Tax Act 1961, and we have made some changes. But now it is the high time. We need to bring what? A new income tax bill. Then regulatory reforms. So they are going to bring some light regulatory reforms in the laws, okay, on which are going to enhance our productivity and which are going to reduce our unemployment. And for that, they are going to set up a high-level committee, okay, high-level committee for regulatory reforms, and it is going to bring an index for what? Investment friendliness of the states. So how many states are investment friendly, or how the states are investment friendly? And FSDC mechanism. Go home and check it. What is FSDC? Clear? Got it? And then they are going to bring Jan Vishwas bill to decriminalize some of the acts. We don't know what, but they are going to bring it. Yeah. And this is indirect tax proposals. Now we have GST. Go home and revise entire GST ka structure. What is GST and this and that? Okay. So what is surcharge? What is cess? What is the difference between surcharge, cess, and what is the tax? Clear? Then what is important here is, students, Make in India. Okay. Sector specific proposals. Exemption to open cell for LED and LCD TVs. So what is the meaning of open cell? What is a normal cell? What is an open cell? Again, they are talked about what? Lithium ion battery. What is a lithium ion battery? What is a green hydrogen? You have to all see this. So exemption to open cell for LED, LCD TVs. So they are we can say that they are intermediary. They are intermediary goods in our economic language. Looms for textile. Then capital goods for what? Lithium ion battery of mobile phones. Go home and revise. I have taught you in the class. What is the difference between capital goods, or what are the trades of capital goods? Okay, and EVs, electronic vehicles. So lithium ion battery, capital goods, open cell. You have to go and revise. Clear? Promotion of MRO. So maintenance and repair operations. They are going to focus on what? Ship industries. Okay. There is a big port, or there is a big center in Gujarat. Go home and see. UPSC, they are asked the question. Export promotion. So they are going to promote the exports for what? Handicrafts and leather, because both are what? Labor intensive and small scale industries. Clear? And they support a lot of rural population. Trade facilitation. So they are going to make trade easier by bringing what? Reducing the forms, reducing the timings for negotiations, all seamless. And we are trying to integrate with the global supply chains also. And very important is what? In medicals. So some are going to be in the exempt list. So what I will try to see is that try to see and go home and see the essential medicines list. And what is important for us as a UPSC aspirant is how a medicine is classified as essential medicine. What is the process? Which ministry is involved? Which department is involved? What is the criteria? That is what is important for us. Okay. So they are reduced some duties also, and they are going to give some patent assistance also, and so on. Okay. And medicines for rare diseases, cancer, severe chronic diseases. What is the meaning of rare disease? Science and tech. Go home and see. Which disease qualifies to be a rare disease? What are the criteria? Clear? And this is direct tax proposals. We are about to end the budget. Direct tax proposals. So we are talking about what? A scheme for arm's length pricing. So if you recall in our class, I have done that arm's length pricing, isn't it? I have given the example of Suzuki, Maruti, okay, And if you are not from our class, you can just go home and check what is arm's length pricing mechanism. That is very important. Clear? Yeah. Then we are going to bring in laws, seamless connectivity laws, so that you can reduce litigation. Clear? And here there is focus on middle class. So 0 to 4, if your income is between 0 to 4, you don't pay any tax. 4 to 8, let's say you have 6 lakhs as income. Okay. So 0 to 4, you will not pay any tax. So above 4 is what? 2 lakhs. So under 2 lakhs, you will pay 5% income. And this goes like this. So this is a new tax slab. And again, you don't need to remember all these figures, 0 to 4, 4 to 8, all. No need to remember. Focus on what? TDS, TCS. What is the meaning of TDS? What is the meaning of TCS? Tax deducted at source. Tax collected at the source. Okay. Again, encouraging what? Voluntary compliance. So if you voluntarily pay the taxes, so India's tax to GDP ratio grows. And if it grows, there is a growth in what? Revenue receipts. If revenue receipts grows, there is a decline in what? Revenue, revenue deficit. And it's good for the economy, because we will have money to spend for what? Welfare schemes. We will have money for what? Capital expenditure or capex. And reducing compliance burden. So charitable trust and all these things, we have an entangled tax structure. So we are trying to rationalize it, so that if the tax gets simplified, if the tax burden gets reduced, they will easily and happily pay the tax. Because nobody wants to get caught in not paying the taxes, because the ramifications are huge. And last one, employment and investment. They're talking about what? Electronics manufacturing sector. They are going to give tax certainty. Certain means what? You know what tax you are going to pay. Then tonnage tax schemes for inland basic vessels. So when they bring it, then we will come to know. They have written in very broad and big languages. And extension for incorporation by 5 years of startups. So they are going, so extension of incorporation. Earlier for 5 years you don't pay any tax. Now plus more 5 years. So for 10 years you will be called as what? A startup, where you will be eligible for all the so-called benefits that are available for what? Startups. Okay. Then I talked about what? IFSC and alternate investment funds, category 1 and category 2. These are all core concepts. Go home and check, because this is not a time to tell you each and every concept. Okay, it's a fast one thing. And last one, very important, what UPSC could ask you here, rupee comes from. So highest rupee comes from what? Borrowings and liabilities. So borrowings and liabilities first, it's more than. Second rupee comes from what? Here, income tax. So borrowings and liabilities, income tax. Third, it comes from what? GST and other taxes. This is how you do it. Okay. Highest is borrowing and other liabilities. Second is income tax. Third is GST. Fourth is what? Corporation tax. Fifth is what? Non-tax receipts. Sixth is what? Union excise duties. Seventh is what? Customs. And last is what? Non-debt capital receipts. So they could ask you, arrange in the descending order or arrange in the ascending order. You should know it. Similarly, rupee goes to. So highest money of ours goes to what? State share of taxes and duties. Okay. Second goes to what? Interest payment. See, we have taken so many loans. So it's all revenue expenditure. Okay. Bad expenditure. 2 is what? Interest payment. Third, we go to for central sector schemes, excluding defense outlay or capital outlay on defense and subsidies. Okay. So 16 gone. Then we have defense is 8%, finance commission and other transfers, centrally sponsored schemes and other expenditure. What is other expenditure? They are not told. Other expenditure. Okay. Just spent. So that is what? On the third number. Okay, then we have major subsidies and then we have pensions. So we are crying out pension. What is this? 4%. Clear? Okay, and this is nothing but you don't have to go and see, just you have to see. So revenue receipts, are they continuously increasing? No. So increasing, decreasing. Capital receipts, you know the definition? Are they continuously decreasing? No. So decreasing, again increasing. Okay, expenditure. Increasing, decreasing, increasing. Effective capital expenditure. I told you what is effective capital expenditure. So capital expenditure plus revenue expenditure, that was used for what? Building assets. Okay, assets is also, assets and liabilities are what? Cap. Revenue expenditure continuously increasing? No. Increase, decrease, increase. So it's not a very swift phenomena. Then deficit trends. So if you go for deficit trends, okay, so deficit, fiscal deficit, is it continuously decreasing? Yes, it's continuously decreasing. Yes. Revenue deficit, is it continuously decreasing? Yes, It's decreasing. Effective revenue deficit, is it continuously decreasing? Yes, it's decreasing. Primary deficit, is it continuously decreasing? Yes, it's decreasing. Great. Clear? Then next tax receipts of the center. So growth, down, growth. So now it's growing. Growth, total transfer to the states and union territories. Okay, and then last is what? Expenditure on major items. Just 3-4, just remember it. First is defense, second is rural, third is home affairs, and fourth is what? Agriculture and allied activities. They will ask just 3 or 4 from the top if they ask technically. So this is what for this budget. Every budget it changes. Clear? And this is Tata. Finish of the budget. See students, what I tried to show here before I submit it in 2 minutes, I will just try to tell you that whatever schemes are coming or whatever sectors are coming here, go home and read those schemes, because there is a probability of those schemes coming, because there are n number of schemes. Modi ji has brought so many schemes. I bet even the ministers don't remember the schemes, or maybe he may also not remembering the schemes. So many schemes are there. Such a mismatch is there. But for us as an aspirant, we can't say like this. We have to know the schemes, and what we can do for those schemes is what? At least those are in current affairs. At least those are being talked about by the minister 10 times. At least those which are talked about in the budget explicitly. That means what? The government is focusing on those schemes. So we need to go and read those schemes. One. Don't go into factual details. Okay. This much crore, that much crore, that is not going to be asked. Clear? So what I have tried here is to give an appraisal of the budget. So I covered the entire budget. Okay, I hope it proves to be important for you, useful for you, and the fear of budget is gone, because people have unnecessarily created a hysteria around the budget. And thank you for listening to me. And I have been very energetic. I don't know why, because I'm seeing you, you will be seeing me, and let my all energy get transferred to you also. And before I leave, students, best of luck to all of you. This is prelims. Are you getting this? So prelims is all a game of what? Mind and calmness. Be calm, be original. You're studied for the entire year. Don't take too much tension. The more you're calm, the more things will happen. Are you getting this? And I'm always with you. I told you, isn't it? And Insights IAS is always with you. They told you. Vinay sir is always with you. So we are all with you, isn't it? It's a sort of sisterhood between us. Are you getting it? It's a sort of a beautiful fraternity. And as the Gurujara Apparao says, that a nation is not in its soil. It's in the souls or body of citizens. So we are all a nation, isn't it? We are all a nation. We have a heart-to-heart connect. Okay. So thank you, students. And if this video you found it useful, do share with your friends. Are you getting it? So that they will also get the advantage of that. And this is what the budget is all about. Nothing else here. So we can talk about budget for 4-5 days, but that is not required. This is what is required. Clear? So focus on schemes. Focus on where the government is focusing. Try to go and visit the current affairs in these sectors, because budget is going to be focused by UPSC. Clear? And as history shows. So those who don't have sense of history, they can't create history, and we are all here to create history. Thank you. Yes. Shine, rise, passion, patience, persistence. Thank you. See you from Nikhil Sanjay Rekha Sir. All the best. See you at the top. Bye.